a kind of German transcript or something for that. But for now, just so you guys know, we're going to speak in English, and very welcome to all of you from us here, from Germany and Israel. That's pretty cool. Right, you know, there's an echo. We just had to fix some little technical issues. All right, cool.
So we got them all.
We got it right.
Perfect.
I got you good in both ears also. And just so you guys know, we have two cameras because we're live on YouTube and we're live on Instagram. So if we switch our view, just know we have you in our hearts. We look at you, and yeah, we're just gonna switch in which camera we're gonna look, right? So cool. Great.
Hi.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I missed you.
Yeah, same. Good to see all of you.
It's been a week and a half.
A week and a half, yeah.
2 weeks, roughly. A week and a half, roughly. Yeah,
week and a half.
It's been interesting.
Yes.
Since I got back home.
Yeah,
so much happening.
It is a lot happening, and for those who don't know, we just met in Switzerland for the past basically half of a month, right? Half of June we were together in Switzerland, more or less, for several events. Most of all, the body sings, and this is also what we're going to talk about today, about the elective seminar, Theta Healing elective seminar, the body sings, and we're going to give you guys a little introduction. Narayan is going to give a little introduction to us, and we have some questions also that we're going to talk about, like what you guys can expect. I'm sure we have a lot of Theta healers here with us tonight, but also we probably have people that don't know Theta healing yet, so it's going to be a little introduction.
If it's people from my account, that would be quite different crowds, like different crowds.
Love it. Yeah. Welcome to those guys as well.
There's all these musicians that.
Perfect.
Sorry about this. Now no one is going to disturb us.
Love
There's
it.
just all these screens, and let me sit in the yard on the ground and play my guitar. But yeah. Hi. It's so late in the day. I'm gonna fall asleep. I love it. Can I play you a song, Rouven?
Yes. Let's play a song and open with that also, and then we're gonna speak a little bit about the seminar. But please, your blessing.
Let's just close our eyes for a moment and breathe. Let's leave the day behind for these few moments. Let's imagine this energy of love that just flows all around us. Let's take another deep breath in and gently exhale. Feel the vibration of the breath inside, the motion. Every little bit of breath is fresh life force flowing through us. Let's feel our connection to the Mother Earth beneath. To our hearts. To our Heavenly Father and Mother. To the energy that moves in all things. Take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, we open our eyes.
Love it. Thank you. Mahalo. So welcome. You said the crowd of you that might be watching this live with us, or maybe the next couple of days, are just musicians. So a lot of them probably,
Or just musician lovers.
Musician lovers, yeah. And which brings us to the topic also, because we want to speak about the Theta Healing elective seminar, The Body Sings, right? So do you want to tell us a little bit about you first? Like what's your background? Who are you? What do you do? Where are you coming from?
Well, I am one with the energy of love. Let's begin with that.
Love it.
And then there are all these parts of me that I can refer to as myself. So I'm a human being born 42 years ago in Israel. I have grown up in a traditional yogic family, or at least a part of the family was practicing traditional yoga. And that was my upbringing. And that took me to my 20s when I went off to find my way outside of the ashram life in the acting school. And when I finished that, I reached pretty quickly into theta healing. from the beginning of my life onwards, music has always been a part or a main part of my practice, my love, my interest. And it has developed over the years through these different, paths that I've been walking. So my yogic practices are very much connected with music. Not all of them. I practice meditation, I practice asanas, I learn the philosophy. But in my practice, I am very much devoted to the mantras and then through theta healing, the world of healing, which has been open to me since childhood because my mom has always been a healer. That's how actually she got into yoga, through pranic healing class in the yoga center. That's what made her eventually a yoga teacher and later on a monk in the tradition, or a nun. So that just started coming in together with the healing work that I've been doing with theta healing. And then just through the friendship with Vaiana, her knowledge of my musical work, and really just the first time we met, she was like, wow, you heal with your voice. I was like, I've always known it, I've felt it, I've heard it before, but hearing it from someone that I respect in that way was kind of profound. She was also the one that actually, if it wasn't for her, no one would know my name as a musician, because she made me do my album, to get my album out.
All right, I didn't know that. Love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was after I met her that I got my album out.
Okay. And you said you grew up in an ashram.
Well, I grew up in a yogic upbringing. No, I didn't spend all of my life in the ashram. My ashram experience started when I was 10 years old onwards, or 11 years of age. Every summer I would go to one of the main Shivananda ashrams. And then when I was 14, my mother and she just divorced, and we left to the Bahamas, to the Shivananda ashram there, where I spent some good years, went back to Israel, and then again for like 4 years back into the ashram. So there is a lot of ashram in me.
A lot of ashram in you.
But I also grew up in a what you would call like a normal household to a certain until a certain age. Yeah. So there's a little bit of everything here in this.
Awesome.
And how I got with this to create a class, well, basically Vaiana suggested that I create something with this work. Knowing me as a musician and having a very personal relationship, she trusted that I could do justice to the technique, creating a class that will facilitate a lot of healing for a lot of people that are very, very deep in the theta healing work, and could use a good song.
Just to give it a little context, right? So we want to speak about the Body Sing seminar, and for those who don't really know what the seminar is about, like, what is it about? What's the main ingredient of the Body Sings?
The main ingredient is the sequence that you can create for yourself, and we guide in different ways. We is me and my brother. We both teach the class. We created it together. And so we've created a sequence to prepare you to get into the work, and then how to get out of the work and still have a really good support system around you, even when you're alone. With that, we talk a lot about sound, about vibration in the body, about how all that really works, and we experience in different ways to be able to reach a physical sensation of love in the body. And then that very quickly turns to joy, which is the prerogative of the class. We want to clear sorrow so we can make more space, room for joy, basically. That's
like the objective, the idea behind the class. Yeah, cool. Love it. So it focuses on the on the heart song itself, you know, right? Like this is what you're saying, like from the theta healing technique, we take out this very special aspect, like the powerful practice of the heart song, which, you know, when you do theta healing educational courses, you will learn that in the advanced seminar, which is the second seminar. And, you know, you get an introduction, you know, a quick introduction probably to the heart song. And then Vienna invited you basically, or asked you to write an extra seminar just for the heart song, right? This is like what you were sharing. And so, I mean, you gave us a little musical introduction already. And this is also to show you guys that are watching how special this seminar is and how different it is from, of course, every theta healing seminar has their own specialties. But in this one, we have the focus of vibration, of music, of live music a lot. You're playing basically from, we had like how many events this year already, 3 or 4 events in different countries so far, more to come. And I mean, from these experiences, you're drumming, you're playing singing bowls, you're obviously singing and playing guitar and guiding the people through the process, right? And that is very different from the other parts of the technique.
Well, really, because the other parts of the technique are very they're mindful. There is mental activity to be to do. There is a digging process, like really imagining things and allowing yourself to be able to express them. That takes mental capacity, and the heart song is the part where we let the mental capacity rest for a moment, and we touch base with something which is as important and not at all as touched, the emotional body. Simply, this is simply touching that portion which we normally don't. And especially when we are in a very mental moment, so like we're digging something, we're working on something, we're opening something up from our subconscious mind, it takes a moment sometimes to do the switch also. So like, can I just immediately go and actually feel the feeling? In all honesty, people are afraid to feel.
Exactly.
So they really want to just feel joy, so they avoid feeling other feelings, or they try to push down other feelings. And that is true to anyone, healer or not healer. It's like we don't like to feel because we were taught that it's not a cool thing. It's like you got to be cool, you got to be easy about it. So you want to feel good, and you want to feel happy, and you want to feel joyful. And you think for some reason that if you have other feelings as well, that doesn't come well together. And that's just not true from my own experience. I mean, I am a crybaby, and I'm a very happy person.
So, what you're saying is that it brings it all together, right? That people are allowed to feel. And do you see any differences in the countries where you've been so far? I mean, you and your brother, you've been traveling a lot with the Body Sings, before, like pre-COVID times.
Pre-COVID
times. And maybe that's also another thing to speak about. Like, why do you think getting in touch with your emotions is even more important nowadays than it was before, or a few years ago, let's say it like this?
I wouldn't say that it's more important today than it was, but it is still needed. It was needed then, and it's needed now. The truth is that it's needed now, maybe a little extra, because people's carpets were pulled under everyone's feet, basically. What you used to, what some or a lot of people would think, is something, now they don't know anymore. Is it true? Is it illusion? Am I being lied to? All these sorts of things that people are experiencing when they're open to world media, to social media, to just what they hear from their people, from their friends, from their family. People have different ideas about what's going on, and it is very confusing for a lot of people. And that in itself is already a good reason to go in and clear some of the emotional baggage that comes with it, because we are easily triggered, more easily triggered. And if we're healers, we know we take on the pain, and you know
Exactly.
what, we can be so cute about it and say, but I've downloaded myself that I won't do it. And my answer to that is, that's so cute, because you love doing it. Why do you love doing it? Because it also makes you human. So the point is not to get rid of it completely, but to learn how to work with it in the way that works for you. And
Exactly.
for that, you have to touch base with the emotions. And the best way to touch base with your emotions is to disconnect them from the story. And the only way I know how to do that is where I silly me sitting and just going
Mhm.
until something happens.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. So, you know, our body is also our instrument, right?
Mm,
This is, I mean, we all have a voice, we all communicate through different forms of vibration. And like you said, you know, I would say it doesn't matter whether you are a healer or not really, but you're a sentient human being. And of course, you feel the energies, you know, so many people are so intuitive, probably sometimes more than they even know, right? And they pick up stuff from other people and they feel it and they kind of work through it sometimes. And not always, but most of the time, or many times, it's not even their own emotions. So you mentioned like this emotional baggage that people have. So, you know, this technique or this part of the theta healing technique is also to release that baggage through sound, you know,
exactly.
through witnessing to your own sorrow. This is what we do also in the seminar in these 2 days, right? Supported by a lot of music. And I think the music, especially your singing, your live music, your talks to it, you know, that makes it very special, right?
Mm, mm,
The way the seminar is held, and it makes it different, obviously from other classes, because music plays such a big role, right? And allowing your emotions to be shown, to get in touch. And I think it's very interesting. We also have the handout, of course, that you get in the seminar, that you and your brother wrote. And so you're speaking about the power of vibration in there for your
yeah,
body, right?
yeah.
Do you want to speak a little bit about that? How, like, and then also like tell us how does it work actually, the heart song? What's the magic behind it, you know? I mean, there's magic in there for sure, and this is also something beyond the mind, right? That we bypass the mind with this technique. But the vibrational part, what would you say to it?
You know, for every manifestation, there must be a sound wave, because
Yeah,
the energy that we're working with is not wavy, it's particles.
true.
And then you need to get those particles flowing a certain way, not just all up there, you know, different places. So when you make a command, or when you make a manifestation, you are creating the channel where you want that energy to flow towards.
Mhm.
So we are working with sound without really, you know, taking the time to grasp it. So first of all, here we are taking the time to grasp it. And it's not intellectual. It's experimental. It's
Right,
experiential.
exactly.
You know, it's like I say it in class. You've been in those classes. You've translated me. You heard me. I love talking. I mean, I could talk for hours. I have lots of good things to share. You know, but the truth of the matter is that the actual work that a person does is when they allow their own voice, their own sound to start vibrating inside.
Mhm.
Just say to yourself, you know, if you are a theta healer, you would know that, like, or I mean, a lot of us know it, but if you're a theta healer, you should know it because it was in your manuals. That your energy field is really affected by negative versus, you know, positive words. Extremely affected. It is written in scriptures that, you know, like, and in different scriptures, that everything begins with sound. Like, it's even in the Bible. The first thing, you know, when there was light, it was because God did not just go up and put the light bulb. God said there will be light. So there was the yes that we say in Theta Healing.
Yeah.
When I say yes, then I agree for something. It's a particular energy that is opening up a channel for something to occur. right? So when I just take it beyond words, I can disconnect it from all of the mental stuff. And that's why really works well, because I'm not framing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Right.
what I'm putting is an intention that I'm going to ask Creator's love to release those toxins from me, those emotional toxins. And then I breathe it in. It's energy. It's fresh, good, clean energy that was
Yeah.
just cleansed, and it returns back to me. I'm not losing that energy. A lot of times we find when we do a lot of mental processes is that it's quite hard sometimes to get and release energy because it is energy. So, you know, when you go about saying, I want to release energy, your subconscious is basically saying, I know you don't, because it's valuable energy. Here, I'm trying to get rid of something. No, I'm just letting this sound out, connecting that I want sorrow to be released from it.
Exactly.
And the subconscious doesn't fight anymore.
Yeah.
It just allows it to happen. I mean, it does fight for 15 minutes, but then it stops. You know?
Sometimes, right?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
depending on how your mental activity is, how crazy the
Exactly.
monkey is. Yeah.
Yeah. I think even my experience is like, you know, when you get what the heart song is really about, when you have experienced its power, it's such a gateway that opens up, right? Because it allows you to, sometimes we have this stuck energy in our subconscious, or we pick up energies from, you know, the world around us, from when we have sessions or whatever happens in our life. You know, life happens anyways. And not everything has words yet, or not necessarily everything, you know, needs to be put in words also, but just to be felt. So
Right.
by connecting through sound and through vibration, like you say in the seminars or in the handout, also the vibration travels through your body. And it's like, you know, I always have to imagine like when you have a carpet and you're cleaning it, you know, this is
Well,
what the sound does to your cells,
when
you
you
know?
go to a massage, what
Yeah.
happens? They stretch, you know, they yeah, a carpet is a good plan, you know. It really gives you the visual.
Yeah,
But you know what it feels like when someone touches you, right?
exactly. Yeah,
That's touching from the inside
exactly.
with a vibration of sound.
Yeah,
And the best thing about it is that it is your own sound, and there is something to be said about your own sound. When you look at someone's eyes, they carry something, you know. That's a window to the soul.
hmm,
And we also have those fingerprints that are individual for us, and our
yeah,
voice is also individual. And I don't know, maybe we carry it from life to life, because when I sing, for example, Indian music, I don't sound like myself. I sound like this Indian guy.
yeah,
And it just happened one day that it opened up. So like there was some sort of a connection of that, you know, that voice traveled to this time. So I speculate. I cannot say that it's true because I haven't received a degree to say that I'm a scientist that can say something. But from what I've been seeing over the last from 2016, traveling with this and teaching it around the world, you know, except for the 3 years we just ended. Um, each person's own voice is their own medicine.
yeah,
So it's like your voice is built exactly for your body type, for your body everything.
hmm.
I mean,
It
that's
carries your vibration, right?
it carries your vibration, and it is also the antidote. Like it also has the healing capability in
Yeah,
it. So like if you drink too much of it, it's poison. But if you drink just enough of it, it's a nectar.
hmm,
So it's, you know, it's a medicine.
yeah,
And I think in this class, we basically take the time we need to take in order to get that down, like to really get it down into our system and be able to carry it with us as we leave the class. Because it's great to have a really safe space for 2 days, but then what? And I come and I go, you know, and then what? No, like you learn that it is actually possible to feel this energy with yourself, and then you're never alone.
exactly. So that was also one of my questions, you know, like, is the heart song for you also a daily practice? And also, how do you know when a session of the heart song is finished, and do you have to have the feeling of completion after every time you do it?
Yes. Okay. So these are a few questions.
Yeah.
So do I do it every day? Absolutely not, because I don't need to do it every day.
Yeah.
I personally do it regularly because I work with it a lot. So I do, carry a torch for my people, and when they hurt, a part of me hurts too.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, just because I am very much connected to, I'm a very heart-based healer. It's like I read through the heart, and everything I do is through the energy of the heart. It's just the way I am most comfortable and feel the safest. And it is also a dangerous place, because you go into the heart of people, and sometimes there is self-loathing, self-hatred that is extremely painful to watch. When you're open, when you come in with energy of compassion, that can be a moment of like being. So I've seen enough things to not be overwhelmed from it so quickly, but at the same time I use this technique to to clear myself. Like at the end of a day of sessions, I would always go and take a shower, because I love the feeling of water, and because I'm just asking to cleanse myself, right? Yeah, I can do it this way, but I actually really enjoy the shower. So I use that. And then at the end of a week, I take some time in a bath, and I do it for myself, because again, I meet a lot of people and I do it with them. Therefore, I do need to keep my own self. It's like I'm devoted to helping others, and then I become devoted to helping those who help others.
Yeah.
So that's, so I'm taking theirs and I'm watching theirs, and it's like, and it also makes you extremely psychic, because like you're,
exactly,
like my skin is psychic. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, and all of ours is, but I'm just aware of it, because I realign with the energy of love to have it physically felt daily. And it's not just through the heart song, it's through music in general. It's through prayers, it's through mantras, it's whatever inspires.
Exactly.
Inspiration is so important, like we are so filled with, we're bombarded by information from everywhere, whether we are aware or not, like our body reads it. And then what do we put instead? And what, like, do we fill it in with good stuff also? Like, do we, So it's both looking in and also, cleansing myself and nurturing myself at the same time.
And when do you know that a session is finished? When you do the heart song, for example, or when people do it, and is there anything you would advise them what to look for? Because you mentioned the example from our last retreat with your dad, right? And or also with someone that was just doing the sound, right?
Right.
And do you want to share something about that? Like, is there anything that has to happen or that you have to focus on? And when do you know when it's finished? How do you know?
It's a really good question. I can tell you right now that there is not one answer to it.
Yeah.
I never presume to know. I always ask. Like, how do you know that a session is over? You ask Creator, basically.
Yeah.
And this said, hold on. This said, there are signs that you can notice. So like when you're doing just a one session, you won't go over 35 minutes really, like 40 minutes, because it's just like the person will be exhausted by the end. And you want them to be exhausted in a sense, because you want them to get over the mind games and to reach that place of nothingness.
Yeah.
But also you don't want to drain them too much, because they have to get out of your house or your clinic or whatever, like you're going to make sure that they don't stick around too long, because there is other people coming. So there is that balance of putting a tap on it. It's not over, but we're gonna close it right now, because especially when someone is just starting to feel their emotions, there is so much there. You cannot, like
Can
if
be,
you really
right?
want to clear it all at once, you're going to need to sit for 24/7, and pretty
Yeah,
much. It's going to take
yeah,
you 24 hours for 7 days. Or it can take you 3 hours, or it can take you 30 minutes.
yeah,
There will be a gentle shift to a lighter vibration that may come out of as laughter.
yeah,
If it's a crazy laughter, usually it's something that I'm not wanting to touch.
yeah.
But if it's a gentle, loving, like something between a laughter and a melody and a song, not that I make it, but it just happens. There's a big difference. Then I know that the session is done. For me, for the first time when I just started it, and until I reached the point where what came out of me was not really a giggle, but kind of a giggle,
Yeah,
it took 3 months. There
yeah,
was a lot in there. Now it wasn't every day. You really don't want to do anything to overdo.
yeah, yeah.
Not digging and not this. You don't want to overdo anything, because then you're just making yourself tired of it. And also it's like there is a life that is happening around you. You cannot really limit yourself. Like you want to be able to remain, part of life and not living in la la land for a few months. You want to be present.
Of
So
course.
so there is a way to learn how to just kind of, like open that door, let yourself feel, and then close it, knowing that you will return. Like there is a trust
Exactly.
thing
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
need
yeah,
to create with
yeah,
yourself,
yeah,
that I will not run away from this. I will
yeah,
go in and I will work with it, and I will be gentle with myself
yeah,
until I feel it's all cleared. And then, after a while, I want to recheck with myself and see,
yeah.
because life again continues to happen around me and I continue to feel things. But for the most part, when you clear that first big chunk, I will be like clearing your genetic sorrow.
Yeah, love it.
So that is not even working on your own stuff. It is,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah, yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah,
It's like, yeah, it is and it isn't, because it's like it's also working on your parents' stuff and your grandparents' stuff, and about 7 generations of I mean, sorrow.
yeah,
That's a lot. Not to talk about the sorrow of the land where you live, and if you're in, like any of the countries that are in this world, at some point there was a war going on there, so there is sorrow
right.
built in. and and I think when you reach learning joy is when you accept that sorrow is not a bad thing, it's not a negative thing, and when it's balanced, it can actually be quite charming to work with.
Yeah. And that's also one of the powerful things that I, can observe also within myself in general, like practicing the heart song, to really be in contact and not trying to only have one state of how I feel throughout the day, but rather having the whole like spectrum of feelings and being in contact, right? Being centered in that and just
Yeah.
being in touch with myself, with my emotions, with my feelings. So for myself to share this experience, the heart opens and it's not afraid anymore to be touched by any kind of feelings, because of course, it's a tool, right? It's the tool to release maybe stuff that has happened previous in your life or in your genetics, like you said, right? Or stuff you picked up. And once you get this and you allow yourself to get back in touch, something shifts. And I love what you said also, like when you know that when you reach that point, it becomes soft, right? You said that a few weeks ago also, like sometimes the people have the expectation that you have to cry or it has to be a huge
Oh
drama,
no, we're not
Opposite,
into
right?
dramas. It's the opposite of drama. It can be
Exactly.
sweet, it can be touching,
Yeah.
it can even be a little sad, but it's not dramatic.
Yeah, exactly.
No, dramatic is another technique
It's
of
another,
yours.
yeah, and it's another energy also, right?
It's a whole different energy. The point
Exactly.
is the point is that we are a multifaceted creature.
Yeah,
We are a human, but we're also a spirit that comes from higher realms, you know, from higher planes. We are connected to everything around us, to everyone around us, our parents, our grandparents. It's not connected to them by phone or not connected because they passed away. We are literally connected to them like a web, connected all to all of these people. And so our common sense, what is a common sense? It's not just oh, this guy is witty, you know. No, common sense is communal sense. It's the sense of the community. So the sense of the community is a part of us, whether we fight it, hide from ourselves knowing that it's there or whatever, it's still a part of us.
Exactly.
So all of that, you know, and that means that there will be many ideas, there will be many things that I think differently on the same things, you know. It's like when someone is allowing themselves to be all they are, to feel everything they feel and learn how to work with it so they manage it nicely, you know, so they can remain kind to the world around them. You know, I want to be able to feel, and not, a lot of people think that feeling is, you know, like that means if I'm angry, I need to get it out at someone.
Yeah.
And that's BS, because because it's not, I don't need to throw anything at anyone. I can work with it myself, you know, like if there is something about boundaries that I need to work, I can do it nicely and kindly and reach the goal that I want to reach faster. And the anger part of it, you know, this is sacred fire. Let's do something with it. So get the gongs out, you know, put the music on, put yourself in the bath and just start humming. And that will release you from the negative charge on the energy that stays. So you're not letting go. You are transforming the energy from one state to another.
And you know, you said you start humming, so obviously it's called the heart song, but you also mentioned already it's not a song that you sing.
Right.
It's like a sound.
Basically like a humming, you know,
like a hum, right?
You just go. Now you want to open your mouth when you do it, and it's just in the same way, like you want to be able to express.
Exactly.
So you want to have a relaxed face when you do it. You don't want this part here. We always, when we meditate, for some reason we think that we need to really focus our third eye in this way, and watch out for the wrinkles, you know. There is no need to do that. and just have a relaxed jaw when you do it. It's just like express whatever you have. It's like when I want to say that I love you, I say that I love you with an open mouth.
True.
If I say that I love you, it has a whole different meaning. So when I just speak in this way, or when I just hum in this way, I'm allowing something to go through me. And the good thing about it is that it works regardless of, you know, the intention.
Yeah. I mean, we're setting
we are setting an intention, but do you think that the child that does the same thing, by the way, is thinking in his head, oh, I have all this energy now, I'm going to release it? No, they just go, and they release their energy, you know. So intention, yes or no, I don't know, you know, like it works with or without it. Because sound works, because sound does that vibrational work inside of you. It taps the carpet from the inside. It's just clearing all the dust. And if you put the intention to it, just like any manifestation, you can manifest anything, 50% you'll make it. But if you go up to a theta brainwave, you can reach up to 90% of your manifestations. So that's the 40% is the intention.
Exactly. And also, you know, like you said, you're not hunting something like, I have to get it out. You know, you're allowing. And this is what your heart is soft, right? You give in and you allow to let these energies come up. And it's powerful. You mentioned genetics, right? I mean, there's a lot of inner vision coming up and coming through that you don't necessarily have to understand when you're doing it. And this is where we said in the beginning to bypass the mind, right?
I would say
it's just happening.
You shouldn't understand while you're doing it. You shouldn't be busy with understanding it at all.
Yeah.
You should be busy with just letting this sound out and really letting go into it. And, you know, whatever comes to the mind, it's okay, but you don't need to focus on that. You can focus on continuing that vibration is coming out, you know, like toxic energy is being released as I exhale sound.
Yeah.
And, you know, it is cleansed by, you know, reaching the air. It is cleansed and it returns to me as valuable energy, a source of wisdom, a source of love.
Yeah.
It's energy.
You know, you said in one of the seminars a very, very cool thing about people and feelings also. That is when we have this knot in our stomach, right? You said that people think that this knot is their feelings and they want to get rid of it. But what they actually want to get rid of is this twist.
Is the protection, which
to
protects them
feeling.
from feeling. Exactly. It's and yeah, people are not really aware. That's why it's like either feeling sad or angry or happy. You know, there's so many more emotions in there. So many more. And I think for us it's really important to and I don't think it's enough to say I'm going to download that I know what it feels like and not take the time to actually feel it. Because
Exactly.
what kind of message are you sending to the universe when you're saying I want this, and that, and then you just put it on the shelf and you go and do your thing that you've always done?
Yeah.
There is something to be said about taking the time to experience the gift I've just asked for. And doing it with the heart song is lovely, because it's really, you know, learning about so many more gifts that you've asked for, received, and were not aware of at all.
Exactly, and it connects you a lot to life, right? Like it makes feeling tangible again. So we have, I mean, how many people of us that are on the healing path or not, right? Have like experienced their things on their way. There might be stuck emotions, to express them and to make space. So these energies, they're not stuck and held in place as a certain set of memory or emotion, but they can breathe again. They can become, you know, part of the big play again.
Together. They can move together. They came in for a reason, you know, to play inside me.
Yeah.
And if I'm not allowing them to move from their corner, they will, you know, they will grow heavier and heavier and heavier, because they're not given the life that they deserve. You know, my bit of anger should get its own life, you know, it should enjoy its life. Just a moment of anger, 3 seconds of anger, that's actually kind of cool, you know, because that's great fire.
If
you're able to switch it, if you're able to switch to take that energy, and so many of us use anger, frustration, depression, whatever these heavy feelings, to be like the jumping board from which we go up high again.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of happens to a lot of people. And you know, if that is your thing, then, you know, like, have that to make it easier. Take it to make it easier. You don't have to change who you are. You're amazing as you are. That's like, it's not, there is nothing to change and fix. You know, you're perfect.
Yeah.
Through taking time to be aware, whether through meditation or in this tangible way of the physical sensation within, you know, this work of the heart song, and then you're taking time to love yourself. This is just a way to prove myself, or to remind myself what it means to love myself.
Exactly.
To take the time.
Exactly. And
take
you're
the
taking
time for me.
Yeah, you're taking the time to listen to yourself and to listen to your sorrow also. And that is a great deal, right? This is a huge kind of attention that you're giving to yourself, that already, the intention of doing that already triggers so much healing, right? And I mean, you have also your stories that you share with the heart song. I mean, we know Vienna's story from how she originally discovered the heart song by healing her heart with it. And since then, many of these amazing healings have happened, you know, because I mean, in theta healing, of course, we learn, as well as in other healing modalities, that when energy becomes like too dense, it can take physical shape, right?
Right.
And this can be stuck emotions that haven't been expressed, that have formed belief systems and everything. So it's two ways on working on it. We shift the beliefs, of course, and also we do it in the seminar, right? We shift the beliefs of the fear of showing our voice, of showing our feelings, you know, and then we just allow it to come out. And, you know, my experience from like basically 1.5 years, like diving in that practice with you guys now with the heart song. Powerful, love it, very powerful. And also, you know, we try to put something into words here. That's just an experience that you have to make, right?
Exactly. Anything we'll say about it won't get close to actually experiencing it.
Exactly.
That's the main thing. And you know, a lot of people come over the years and they're like, yeah, we know the heart song, we don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you hear that, you know that someone that isn't, you know, all that much ready to go and touch their emotions, and I need to respect that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what their emotions feel to them like. You know, I know my own world of emotions. I can say that it's been rocky world for me, but I cannot say that I know what other people are feeling. But what I can say is that if you do make that leap of faith and if you do dive into this work, you find it is a lot easier than you thought it was.
Yeah.
Because you are practicing self-love one-on-one, and you only need 1 minute of courage there to self-love yourself, because that immediately makes you addicted. Just that 1 minute, you know,
Yeah.
will pull you to the next 10 and the next 3 days of it.
Exactly. And also, for those that would like to practice it and want to get into it and want to have the safe space, you provided that already online, right? I mean, you're
Yeah.
providing it in the seminars. Like, we can speak about some of the upcoming seminars just to mention them. In the end of October, we're going to be in Schwyz again, in Switzerland.
Yes.
And in early December, we're going to be with lovely Anna and Marcus in Herdecke again in Germany.
And in between, we're going to be in Prague
All right, Prague,
with
right. Vera,
which I am so excited going there again, because
cool.
Vera holds a wonderful space, just as all of our other hosts. Each one has their own special, beautiful energy that they're bringing and making this class so much more wonderful. And with Vera, I very much enjoy playing, because she's my twin and I love her.
And also every country has their own energy, right?
It's so beautiful to see. It's so beautiful to see. You know, it's like, as I said, I'm from Israel, and it's a very particular energy of this class here in Israel. Different types of people, but there are some similarities in the ways people, you know, take in emotions or process emotions. But something that I found over the years is that people are way more committed to self-love than they themselves realize. And a lot of people show up in the classes, they're like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know how I ended up coming here. Something just pulled me. And then by the end of the class, they understand, like, it solves something for them. For some reason, taking that time for yourself is like, each person that comes in the class, for the most part, you know, they have their own information being downloaded to them during those 2 days, and they each leave the room different people with a deeper understanding of themselves. And that's brilliant to watch. I mean, that's really, really beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I love it. And also, that I just mentioned, you provided a space online also already, right? You have the Rise Morning sessions on YouTube where you lead through the chakras.
Right.
You know, that's for those of you guys who would like to check that out. I mean, of course, it's a theta healing practice. So in theta healing, we would connect to the creator and give or speak the request that all these energies are cleared through the tone of our voice, right? Which is, you know, part of the technique. I think we can mention that. And then you also have you set some intentions also in these videos, and you hold space with music for a certain amount of time. And regardless of what happens in these, let's say 25-30 minutes of the video, it comes to a full finish, and you can take the energy out through the day and see what happens, you know, because it will already induce a shift. And that is the powerful thing.
That's true. And that is online, and that is free on my YouTube channel, which is Narayan Jyoti. So youtube.com/Narayan Jyoti, and you can find the heart song, the Song of the Chakras playlist.
Right.
And you can follow with that. And of course, I travel and I teach. As we said, I'm going to be in Schwyz, in Prague, and then in Herdecke in the beginning of December, which is really, really exciting.
And maybe some other locations in between, who knows?
And there will be more locations. There are more locations that are planned, but these ones are already set.
They are already set.
The organization already went on way.
Yeah.
So these are the ones that I'm mentioning. And in this area of the world at this time, these are the classes.
Yeah.
So anyone from Europe, one of these 3 classes will be really good for you to come and join and play with us. We were saying, but I didn't really finish. Yeah, it is a very, very special time to do this work because we have ascended to different levels of our own consciousness, many different people in different paths. And it's kind of a rebooting of the system, kind of touching base with myself after these 3 very intense years and, coming as we are to the world now. A lot of people find themselves more sensitive than they were. And so what before used to be more like a luxury kind of thing, taking care of myself is a luxury. Now it's not so much a luxury as it is a necessity.
Exactly. And it's more common.
And it's more common. And when you asked about how does it feel in different places, I can say, for example, that Germany had a very different energy than in the past because we've done several classes in Germany, my brother and I, both together, and he did a couple by himself. And then this year when I came and I did in Herdecke and in Berlin, something beautiful happened there. Like something is really shifting. So I cannot say anything, but it's glorious. It's like, it was unbelievable to watch so believable, sorry, to watch, like how deep, quickly people go in. And not only how deep and quickly they go in, but what a huge smile they come out with. When they touch base with themselves and when they realize that everything that they thought is wrong about them is actually also their gift. And it's just like widening the perspective to be able to see it. That doesn't mean I don't want to change things in my life, but it's no longer like, I have to change. No, enjoy yourself for a moment and then see, like, if things don't work for you outside, then go about changing. Yeah, for sure. But just like learning to be more patient. I think that's what it taught me, to be more patient with myself.
Yeah. Did you want to say more?
No, I mean, I could say, as I said, I can talk.
Because, the powerful thing is that you mentioned also, we're coming together in a group and opening a huge field of energy. And this is, like in this time being together tonight, we try to give you a little insight on the technique and on the energy behind it. It's definitely something to experience, something, that you have to feel. When I'm just reading, here's a question coming up. I read the
question.
Would you say a good cry is also a kind of heart song in a different way, as you mentioned with kids?
Yes and no, because it depends on the cry. A good cry is a good cry of a healing sort, or is it a poor me cry, which can also be a wonderful cry, but that sucks the energy back in. The child is way more loose about their crying. A proof to that will be a child will cry when you take something from them that they don't want taken, and immediately as you give it back to them, they laugh. Like 180% shift. If you're able to cry in that way, then yes, that's a good cry. That's a good cry in the way of the heart song. But for most of the people, crying will immediately connect it to the stories of why I cry, and that quickly turns into poor me. So I wouldn't, take crying actively as a practice to clear sorrow. I would definitely allow it to be if it happens, because it can be a great healer, a huge healer. But yeah, you just need to be mindful. See what is it hitting inside of you. Is it hitting a spot that is just really clearing the you know the stuff from your heart, or is it reliving those things?
Yeah.
It's a gentle line.
I think you will feel that also, right? Because
Not necessarily.
you don't think so?
Not necessarily. If you know,
If you know,
recognize
okay,
it,
yeah,
yes.
I get you. Yeah,
Because people
exactly.
people easily fall
Yeah.
in love with their dramas. We know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm quite the drama queen. I know that. I can enjoy a good drama, you know? So I can tell myself, oh, this is great. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. But what am I doing? I'm just feeling my ego, you know?
Okay.
Oh, I'm a victim. You know, it's I'm sorry that I'm putting it in this way, but it's just basically this. It's like we may have a tendency of falling in love with our victimhood that we are unable to recognize. I mean, because every person has blind spots. To think that the more spiritual you get, you don't have the blind spots or they go away is childish. I see masters that have blind spots. Don't ever think you don't have them. You know, so take into consideration that there are things that we don't realize about ourselves and the way we operate, and also take into consideration that it's the way it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to know everything, because then, yes, it would be a little too boring. We're not supposed to finish clearing everything, because then we're done. It's like life is going to continue until the very last moment, and we should feel until the very last moment.
And be in touch with that. And that's also what the heart song, and of course the whole technique, you know, teaches you to be that navigator and to more and more be aware of these spots, right? And then and this is what you said also, when something is truly released and you're in touch with it and you're allowed to be, there will be this shift. And
Yeah,
it
you
becomes
start
lighter,
feeling
you know?
blissful, basically.
Yeah.
You start feeling that you're gliding on air, even though life is still happening around you, you know, full force.
Yeah.
But you're like, life is pretty good.
Love it.
Pretty happy.
Hey, Narayan, do you have some words to finish or a song to finish? What do you think?
Let's finish with a song.
Cool. And this is also an impression, of course, what you're getting in the seminar. And you know, so many people have asked if this will be online. It's not yet, and it's very special that it is not, because we're coming together in that very sacred space with this very wonderful music.
I agree, which is not to say that I'm not trying to get it approved.
Okay. All right.
Because I know that I can hold it also online. I mean, me personally leading it, that's what I do with a lot of people. Most of the people that come to me for the heart song session, we do it on Zoom right now.
Okay.
Because they're from around the world. So I give you the tips on how to create that sacred space for you, you know, and then we dive in there together.
Yeah.
For a session.
Let's do it.
By the way, the song I sang in the beginning, Jana Viharison, if you want to listen to this wonderful, wonderful angelic voice, look her up. Jana Viharison is a remarkable musician. Now I'll sing something of mine. There are many ways to pray. I can pray like a child to his mother. I can pray to my teacher for guidance. I can pray to a child like I'm the mother of the child. I can pray to a lover like I'm whispering a song to my lover. What would it feel like to feel that gentle relationship, a loving relationship between me and the divine? This is this song. invite you to close your eyes. Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe Radhe Shyam, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe Radhe Shyam. Nalach dodech hayafa banashim, Napana dodech unvaksheno ima. Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Hanuman. Dodiya legano, mehao gotabosem, meot vaganim velil kochoshanim. Imagine energy coming from the Mother Earth. Imagine this energy rises through the layers of the planet. It reaches the soles of your feet and the base of your spine. Use your breath to witness how this energy flows inside you, embracing every fiber of your being. Imagine above your head a ball of light. Imagine yourself flowing inside this bowl. Rise through the skies, beyond space and time, beyond the entire universe, beyond layers upon layers of lights, a golden light, all the colors of the rainbow, into that white light, into the seventh plane of existence. Feel yourself one with this energy. If you want, wherever you are, you can just say yes and allow the energy of love to flow towards you. And imagine how this energy of love spreads then from your heart and reaches all your loved ones, all of your relations. And the more love flows, the more love fills your heart. Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe Radhe Shyam, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe Radhe Shyam. Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Hanuman. Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Radhe Shyam. Feel the vibration of love in every cell with every breath you take. Let the breath be the witness of life force flowing, of energy field expanding. Let your heart open free. Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe Radhe Shyam, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe Radhe Shyam. Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Hanuman. Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Radhe Shyam. With the next breath, bring your attention to the soles of your feet, to the base of your spine. Open your eyes. And then just bring your hands real quick this way and witness how your energy field is being zipped up. Everything is secure. Everything is in place. I can love with my heart open and still have all of my boundaries safely put so I can function with ease in the world. And that's my little bit of inspiration for today.
A little bit. Thank you so much for the conversation, for our talk. Super appreciate it, love it. And thank you everyone who was watching until here tonight, or whatever time of day you watch this. So, Narayan, we speak very soon, I guess.
We speak very soon, and you guys can all just, log on to my website, Narayan COIL, where you can find the next dates for the Body Sings. Or join us, join us for a live event that happens every once in a while.
Yes, and we keep you updated on Instagram as well. So
yes,
at Narayan Jyoti, right? That's your Instagram, at rouvenwill.love. So
it's Narayan Jyoti through and through. So it's Narayan Jyoti here, it's Narayan Jyoti on YouTube.
Everywhere.
Even on Threads, the app that came out today, I'm on it.
Love it. Super cool, everybody. Thank you so much. We wish you all the best.
It was fun.
Thank you, Narayan. Amazing.
You,
and we speak soon. Lots of love, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You're going to turn it off because you are the one who started it.
I turned off the live.
You turn this and I turn off this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it. Cool. And I leave that for a second.